Previously on the Frontier Farmer. Right, so we should just be able to drop these seeds into our open garden. Now we can fetch some manure from our dovecote. And we'll deposit this manure in here. We can see the area that we are going to cut down. There we go, first tree cut. Fantastic. Cutting down, clearing the stumps, clearing all of the branches off the trees, delimbing them, and winching, dragging these logs over to our wood storage yard. Based on time and light levels, that's probably going to be all that we can cut down for today. Hello everyone, and welcome back. The Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. Now in December, as you can see, there is a little bit of snow on the forecast. That really puts us in a bit of a predicament, because previously we were clearing out all of this area, and we have a little ways yet to go still. The plan is that I'm going to crack on with clearing this area out, and then hopefully before the snow arrives, although it could be rain because it's still set to be above freezing. When that rain or snow comes, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to have started mowing this area to make use of the grass. And we're going to mow the grass, windrow it, and then hopefully forage wagon it into our silage bunker to make use of it. So yeah, we have a lot of work to be cracking on with today. It's going to be hopping in the skid steer first of all, get the buzzsaw activated, and cue the music. Let's cut all this down. And there we go. I think that is the final wood that we need to deposit from cutting down our trees in the forest. And we have 487,000 litres. And we've reached the third tier of the wood storage yard. So pretty fine achievement if you ask me. Now the TAF has been working pretty hard to winch all of those trees. I'm going to park it up out of the way because we'll need it out of the way for the silage bunker later on. Yeah, fantastic. And also alongside it, the skid steer has been doing a phenomenal job cutting down the trees. Some of the larger trees, it can't quite find the sweet spot for cutting them down, so we have to use the chainsaw, but that's not too bad. Here it is, the old Massey Ferguson skid steer. And I think if we do a little scout here, yep, we can see that we've cut down all of the trees in the area which we marked out by the pathway, which we used the skid steer blade to make. So taken us a while, but we have cleared out this stretch. And that's probably the biggest project we've undertaken on the homestead so far. So it's nice to have that all done and dusted. We'll get the skid steer parked away. And then, as you can see, we've got some snow falling. It's only light at the moment, so I think we're still going to be okay to mow the grass. But we will see. I am going to go to the distribution centre to see if we can find a larger mower, as the job would probably benefit from being a little bit faster as it's such a big field. Let's get this parked up and go check it out. Blade dropped off. And skid steer parked away. So it's nice to see this area fully cleared out and you can see its potential for being a large production area and also probably an extension to field number 3 up the top. Fantastic. Right. Snow's coming in, so we better go and see about getting a mower pretty sharpish. Now the farm is over here from when we were watering the open garden, which is conveniently now covered by a little greenhouse cover as the snow's coming in. Really am wondering whether we're going to have a chance to mow the grass before the snow covers it. If we take a little look at the weather forecast, we will see what's going on. So it is set to snow most of the afternoon, however, it is only 0 degrees at the moment. As it gets to midday, it is meant to increase, so it shouldn't set from my reckoning. As we can see through January and February, we have got quite a lot of snowfall predicted, so it's going to be a white Christmas for us. I think I'm going to hold on to the current mower that we have, because that might be useful later on, but if it isn't, we will sell it. But for the meantime, I'm going to head over to the distribution centre and see if we can find a larger mower. We've made it, and the snow isn't setting yet, so we are in luck so far. So for mowers, we are somewhat limited by the horsepower we have on the forearm, but I have found this Lizard HHMB-7, which is actually the rear component of a front and back mower. So this means that we are going to miss bits in the centre because it has 2 arms, one to the left and one to the right, which will drop and mow the grass. And there is a front attachment, but we can't attach that because we don't have a front 3-point linkage or PTO to run it. I'm thinking that we could probably make this work if we alternate rows and cut it that way. We've got it in the tractor matching red and we can buy it for $5,300. Now this is the front component, the FHMB-2, and if we had a front 3-point linkage and PTO, we would be able to run this on the front of the tractor and have a much wider width. But we will leave the front attachment for now, because we can't really run it, and we will just see if we can make this rear mower work to our advantage, and we will, as mentioned, alternate rows. So the bits that we miss, because there's no cutter in the central part of the mower, we will try and catch on the return run and see how that works. Nearly back. What would be nice is if you could mount that central bit on the back of the rear mower, but it doesn't seem to work that way, unfortunately. Right, let's get over to the area and we can start mowing. So the snow is coming in, but it's not setting, so I'm going to risk it and try and get this area mowed. There we go, much wider width for mowing, but yeah, I will have to come and get the bits that we miss from the centre. So let's lower away. We'll head on into the field. Yeah, we are leaving a channel in the centre, which we will have to come and get at some stage. And of course, I've got some rocks to dodge, so I will need to be careful of that and come and cut round them as we go. But leave this with me, and I'll see you once we've got this all mowed up. What are we doing? Absolute madmen. I think the snow is getting worse, and luckily we've been able to mow that grass, but crikey, we shouldn't really be doing this in this weather. We are testing the equipment to the limits, and also we are testing ourselves to the limits. It's a bit chilly sat on top of the open cab tractor like this in the snow. Luckily, it is still not setting thanks to the temperature. So I think we are still clear to carry on with windrowing and then forage wagoning into the silage bunker. But we have time against us. I think one benefit to it being wet is that the grass will be wet, obviously, from the snow, and then when we mow it, it'll be sat there getting a little bit damper. And that wetness is probably going to help it ferment in the bunker, and yeah, shouldn't really deteriorate the quality of silage that we are going to ferment. Now, we haven't got space for the mower, but I'm going to plonk it just in front of the manure spreader for now, because we don't need the manure spreader anytime soon. Drop that off there, and we want to grab the windrower. And before we start windrowing, I think we are going to swap out our windrower, because we need something a little bit bigger to make the job easier. And although we didn't return our mower, I think we are going to return the windrower, because we only need one. The smaller mower might be handy for if we're doing smaller, tighter jobs, maybe around the homestead and some of the more landscapey areas. But the windrower, we only really use that when we are wanting to make a swath. And yeah, the bigger, the more easier. Right, I think the tedder's in the way as well, so it's right at the back. Let's grab the windrower and head off. We got it. Off we charge. So the windrower I think we can sell for 2,664. And we are going to swap it with the Rostelmash GVS 6U. Takes 35 horsepower to run, but it is more than double the size at 6.5 meters working width, and only 1,300, so let's buy that. So we can get hitched up, and this is not a 3-point windrower, it is a towed one, hence the reason why it can afford to be a little bit bigger. And this is likely to make a swath directly in the middle of where we are driving, rather than off to one side like the previous windrower. But yeah, we'll get this back unfolded and see how we get on. It's nice seeing that big stack of wood, because all I see is wooden dollars. Right, so let's unfold this, and I think there's no switching it on, I think it's just lowering it, and then that should start the windrowing. Yep, so the wheels drive it, that's fantastic. And there we go, we are making a swath behind us. So time is of the essence, we have to get all of this grass cleared, and pronto. So we will just do the first strip there, and for ease I think I'm just gonna little turn here to do the straight edge down here. Careful, don't want to reverse our lovely new Rostelmash windrower into trees, and lower away and set on down here. So I'm going to get this all nicely raked into a swath, ready for us to come and forage wagon, and I'll see you when we're finished. Last bit, and we will lift up, fold away, and quickly get this parked up so we can head over and get the forage wagon. That was a nice speedy job. The new windrower has proven itself already, and much more efficient than the previous because it's sort of gathering from both sides and covers a much wider ground and channels it into a nice central swath for us. So yeah, we managed to do a couple of headlands and get round and avoid the rocks nice and easily. I think this is probably big enough that it's going to take up the whole space of the bay where the windrower came from. We'll have to see how we get on. I'll sneak back in there quite nicely. Right, so that's the forage wagon attached. Let's get out of here and start to collect up some of our grass. It's very cold out here, and it's not even in the minus yet in terms of temperature. But we are doing this for the benefit of the homestead. We are on the frontier, so we must make use of all the time we have, even though we wouldn't normally mow, windrow and forage wagon grass in the snow. But it's just about alright for us to do so. So we are trying our best. And of course this grass is going to go a long way in terms of silage and should bring us a little bit of money. So I am going to run around all the swaths that we created and collect them up into our lovely forage wagon, and I'll be depositing them into the bunker. All the grass will be going in there. Now I have a suspicion that it might run out of capacity. It might be too much grass for the size of the bunker. But I'm happy to test that out, and if we do fill it out, we will just purchase another one. They are only around 5,000, I believe, so yeah, pretty cost effective for us. Right, that's the awkward part of the rock dealt with. I'm going to zip round the rest, and I'll see you when we're all finished. There we go. I've just about been able to clamber up with the tractor and forage wagon to deposit the last grass into there, and it's been a bit tricky. I've had to come along and get the wheel loader to crush and compact down the grass as we've gone. As you can see, we've got a bit of a lump here. The forage wagon that we've got, the PK 1.6 I think it is not the best for being able to deposit into a bunker, especially a drive-through bunker. Probably be better suited to a bunker that you drive or reverse into, and it has a back wall, and you just deposit it right at the back and leave the job to a wheel loader such as this, probably with a roller and an actual silage rake and bucket rather than just this standard bucket that we have. But nonetheless, we've been doing an alright job to get it compacted, and I've been trying to even it out with the bucket where I can do so. But now we don't need to drop any more grass off. I'm happy with there being a little bit of a lip or two, but I will try and smooth it out as best I can. So we're at 88% compacted, and we have 44,158 litres of grass. Fantastic. So that is going to be a nice haul of silage once it's done fermenting. I've managed to clear that lip, and then I just slowly deposit the grass where it's not as high, so we don't have too many peaks, but it is a bit of a tricky art doing this. And there we go, we just ticked over to 100% compacted. Phew, what a job. Right, let's get backed off here, and we can get our chaff / grass covered up. There we go, so a little bit around the edges that's fallen out, but that's okay. Right, we'll park up the wheel loader, and then we can get the forage wagon parked up as well. What a day. It's been absolutely manic, especially in terms of the weather. We managed to cut down the trees in the rest of that section. We mowed the grass using a new wider mower. We windrowed it using a new wider windrower. And then we came along and collected it with our forage wagon and put it all in the bunker. And that's now compacted and fermenting into silage. So that should be ready by next month. And it would be nice to sell that for a bit of a profit. Maybe we'll keep some behind in case we want to get some cows or something in the future. We will see. Let me know your thoughts. Would you want to see cows, sheep, horses? I think we could start to think about catering for them on the homestead. There we go. Not even 3 o'clock yet, and it's getting quite dark. Fantastic. Well, that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. Got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. Until next time on The Frontier Farmer, we'll catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.